So I wanted to make this video on early morning training. I put an Instagram post about this the other day too, but I've been training as early as like 4:30 in the morning, 2 to 3 times per summer. I don't prefer this, but there are some real upsides. Typically, I physically feel best like training mid to late morning, like 10:30, 11-ish. A lot of times I have a client from like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. through 10 a.m. and then I take a short break and then train at like 10:30. That's when I physically feel best. And I've talked to so many people who say they don't have time to exercise and take care of themselves. And when confronted with the idea of waking up an extra 60 to 75 minutes early just to get some exercise in, they just totally shut it down. And I think it's really unfortunate because it really isn't that hard to train early in the morning. You just have to really enjoy training and or really understand the upsides and benefits and the value to it. So for one, when you wake up early to train, there's just like way less disruptions. The earlier you start, the more time you have to train. My daughter wakes up like clockwork between 6:20 and 6:40 every morning. So I know if I start my training session by 5 a.m., I have at least a good 75 minutes to get all of my training done. And I can spend that entire time fully present training. I don't have to rush through anything. I don't have to worry about checking emails, answering calls, answering texts. I can take my sweet ass time getting warmed up and resting between sets as I need. I don't have to hustle up, setting up for different exercises. As you guys know, I do a lot of Olympic lifting outside, which takes some extra time, bringing the equipment out and then bringing the equipment back in. So there's like no issue spending an extra 5 minutes on the front end or the back end, bringing equipment out and bringing it back in for that. Secondly, training in the morning, it just kind of forces you to build healthier habits, such as your sleep routine, even being more aware of your diet. So when you have your alarm set to 4 a.m. because you know you need to get your exercise started by like 4:30 or 5 or whatever, you're just more likely to go to bed when you should. You're less likely to stay up doom scrolling or just staying up later than necessary. Also, since total sleep time might actually drop, you might even train yourself to fall asleep a little bit faster, which in turn eventually improves your sleep quality in the future once the routine is solidified. The other habit that training early in the morning might help with is it just might make you a little bit more aware of your diet. I don't like training on an empty stomach. I know a lot of you guys don't like training fasted. So when you're training early, you just need to be a little bit more prudent with the food you decide to put in your body, because I want to not only eat the right amount of food pre-training, but I also want to eat the right quality of food. So when training in the morning, I split my breakfast up. I eat about half of my carb intake and about a quarter of my protein intake before training, and then fill in the rest of those macros after. So you're just a little bit more aware of what you're putting in your body. The next benefit, you start the day by doing something objectively productive. You just don't have time to wake up, doom scroll, sit on the couch, watch TV, or just waste time. You get up, you put your feet on the floor, and then you get going. And you just feel a little bit more productive when you finish your session training early in the morning compared to another time of the day. Next upside, maybe not an upside, but another way to frame this is, yeah, sure, you're going to be tired training early in the morning, but it's a different and, dare I say, even maybe better type of tired. You may still be tired, but it's a different tired than the late afternoon. I kind of feel drowsy. I kind of feel like I need a nap kind of tired. Once you wake up and warm up for a morning session, it's an easier hump to get over compared to dragging yourself through a tired afternoon session. At least that's how I feel. Then last point here is caffeine intake. I'm a fiend for caffeine. I don't even think about it anymore. I just drink it as part of my daily routine. But if you use caffeine and you take an earlier dose, maybe you just feel like you don't need it more so in the afternoon or the evening to train. So you might actually end up taking a little bit less caffeine than you normally do. So anyways, if you end up in a situation where you have to train early, hit it head on, and odds are you maybe even prefer it compared to some other time training in the day. So that's my take on early morning trainings. I hope that helps or just gives a little bit of perspective on it. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching.